Bwahahaha. My name is Amy2 and welcome back to Talk to Transformer. The Stronghold Crusader video is still being worked on. I've started the editing, but it's taking a long time to edit. I also forgot about the Kingdom Rush series that I need to continue. If the Stronghold Crusader video is still being worked on tomorrow, I'll do it then. So anyway, let's get in here. Amy 2 discovered how to transport people into the digital world. Amy 2 discovered how to transport people into the digital world on a regular basis. In parentheses, you'll find the one here. For a while, I was in the 20s at the beach with a recording of a robot singing me a song on the beach. But this weekend's photos for Throne of Bones were a more recent event. These things I didn't see before, so that was a moment of great sense of discovery and just a jump in the world. What? I've had these photos for a while, and you'd just be so bored, Christian said. So when the time came, I thought, yeah, I can use this to do something. And that's where it started. And the more time I put into it, the more I liked... I still like the one where it's like, game over for the kids. The one with like Eggman and the Lotta. Okay, let's see. Moon damaged his watch on his car door. Moon damaged his watch on his car door, which resulted in some serious power drain and failure in both the power door lock and the smoke detector. None of the windows were broken, but 3 pumps of water... 3 pumps of water! So that's a new measurement, eh? Pumps. 3 pumps of water eventually had to be used, which drained the battery in 2 minutes. Luckily, the smoke alarm was working when we left the house, which also worked out well. After about 15 minutes of waiting around the house, the fire brigade arrived. Why did you even need to repair the fire alarm then, if you knew the place was on fire? And when they gave us all the okay to go back into the house, we set off down the path towards the lake, unaware that the fire was spreading. After about 5 minutes on the path, we heard heavy breathing in the distance. And when we got closer, we could see smoke billowing out of the trees towards the road. It was the trees all along. They were creating the smoke. How'd this go from Moon damaging his watch on his car door to that? Slater was getting ready to go on a trip. Slater was getting ready to go on a trip and see the native villages in Italy that my family had visited when he visited me in Florida. What? During my junior year of college, he had left my stepdad at home for a number of weeks with a big appetite for adventure. The trip was sold to me as an overnight. What? So I would be able to make the most of it by renting a car from a bunch of guys who would be driving from the barracks to a huge uh, base town a couple of hours away. What? According to the sales pitch, they had booked the cars off of people who had done something similar and knew a good deal of it because they'd been to an outdoor travel company back in Florida. And in parentheses, most of their name changed. So I was excited, and it ... Okay. Big Boy and Buddy were working on some ways to improve their ship's warp drive. Big Boy and Buddy were working on some ways to improve their ship's warp drive for scientific purposes. And so they drew on an odd geometric shape on the side of a battle cruiser. This apparently felt cool to Buddy. And the two spent the rest of their lives designing a complex warp drive that would carry them across the galaxy at speeds higher than the speed of light. On top of the warp drive, which was a lattice of little fins, Buddy also developed the Alpha Quadrant universe's longbow. Excuse me? A very slim chain made of diamond, containing a universal translator hidden within, which could map any location on the universe in 3 dimensions. That's not a translator anymore. But Buddy's conquests, in quote-unquotes, didn't end there. In late 2366, they became ... I should have just said 2366. Amy 2 was disgusted by the dumpster that was put next door. Amy 2 was disgusted by the dumpster that was put next door. She stole a pass, walked right in, and started making delicious treats in exchange for chocolate chip cookies. She had to prove she was responsible by serving pizza. I thought she was making delicious... Well, I guess pizza is technically a delicious treat. She failed to satisfy their demands, but later got a cookie bar and a cookie cake. Excuse me, what? Which satisfied them. Later, Billy woke up from his sleep and looked in the sky. He saw a horrible monster from his dreams, all teeth and scary eyes, which he called the Beast. He got home and complained to Jackie about the walk she took earlier that day. Jackie would say, "Whatever happened to her sweets?" Billy replied with, "I had a craving for something sweet." Jackie told Billy that he was definitely not responsible for ... Oh, clearly he is. Clearly he took all of Amy 2's sweets. Moon was washing his car. Moon was washing his car through his garage to start the warm water. Yeah, what? Moon was washing his car through his garage to start the warm water. That doesn't even make any sense. When an orange ray of sunlight peered into his garage door, and shined the spotlight down on the glittering car. Dusty scowled at the spotlight, then blinked at it several times before opening the garage door and stepping out onto his patio. He listened carefully as the light passed by the car and landed on his garage door. Before turning back and pulling the garage door out completely. When the light passed by his garage door again, Dusty shrugged, unhooking his dangling antenna from his waist. What? And heading towards his car. Whoa, whoa, what are you doing? A strange boy screamed from across the street. Dusty rolled his eyes at the puzzled boy and walked over. ... What is this? Dangling antenna. That sounds odd. That sounds kind of innuendous. Sletter was dusting the house when suddenly... Slater was dusting the house when suddenly the meeples started making noise. What even is that? After going back outside to investigate the noise, I saw that both the box and the sled with the dice inside were gone. Excuse me? I looked at my dice, but nothing was changing. After the house had been cleared out for the next day, the dice were gone. The dice were gone. That's not proper English, but I love it. It's like after the house had been cleared out the next day, the dice were gone. But they had probably just been left on the rocks. And in parentheses, which happens to be their favorite spot. Dice. Or they could have been run into the house by someone who is not concerned with making sure that they were still there. And in parentheses, not to mention that it is a pretty visible location in the urban/quest area. Excuse me? Overall, I would highly recommend this game to anyone who enjoys regular board games, but is limited by size or budget, for roughly the same price as ... That didn't sound like a board game. Just saying. Big Boy and Buddy were upgrading the power station on their spaceship. Big Boy and Buddy were upgrading the power station on their spaceship. They had their powers in the hopes of ending the war. Satan 1 was the first to come out, and Lucifer was all those people who had sacrificed their life for mankind, and those who were still alive and could not protect humanity. Hell should have been the primary goal for both Satan and Lucifer. Gemini Galaxy. The hooded person touched his ring. Worshipping this time, Satan goes on to describe his plan for the future of humanity and the universe. My time has come. My end is near. All wars are paid. All the bonds of the past are broken. For this, we need more gods. Be of good cheer. I can give you ... This is Satan that's talking. How did this go from Big Boy and Buddy in their spaceship to literally just a story about Satan? It's all about Satan, literally. There's Satan, Lucifer, hell, and... like, what? Okay, Amy 2 was riding with Moon in his car. Let's change this. Amy 2 was driving her car down, I mean, in a blizzard. Amy 2 was driving her car in a blizzard. She was drenched with ice, but somehow managed to send messages to her family on Facebook. She found her house was surrounded by snowdrifts, but was determined to make her way to her parents' house. Finally, she arrived. However, when she stepped out of her car, she saw one of the taser's wires stuck in the mud in front of her. What? The person filming the video couldn't believe what she saw. So she quickly pulled out her cell phone and called 911. An NYPD spokesman told us she and the operator let us know she would be taking pictures and taking videos. What? It's not good enough. Well, actually, part of it is Moon was cleaning his car's engine. Okay, what is this? Okay, what? Moon was dusting off his car's engine for a last-ditch attempt to escape. Staggering up the well, the prospect of a skyscraper riding on a car from a window was simply beyond him. Yeah, it's beyond me too. The prospect of a skyscraper riding on a car from a window? What? Junk days. On the one hand, whether it was a dozen different riffs on the vampire myth, or the story of a car falling on top of a Roman statue in the guise of a bar stool. Such stories filled the post-apocalyptic fantasia of John Wyndham. As teenage readers, we have created our own stories of these vehicles carrying our heroes. Yeah, like the skyscraper. You call a skyscraper a hero, right? Because that was riding on a car. In that book, the protagonist, Henry Thomas, claims to have inherited the tale from his father, the loneliest man on the planet. Wait, then how come he's your father if he's the loneliest man on the planet? If he's the loneliest, then he probably didn't get married. But anyway, well, I'll do one more and then that's it. Slater was at the store buying groceries. Okay. Slater was at the store buying groceries for her 11-year-old daughter. Okay, Slater is a she in this one. When it happened, she could not believe it when a customer who was wearing a miniskirt snatched the laptop. I thought she was going to take my baby's laptop, but then she took my phone too. It was scary. It was messed up, Leona told KXAN. The thief made off with 2 iPods, cell phones, and a laptop. So 2 of everything? Happy family. The family snapped a photo of the thief. They tracked down after the robbery. Okay, that's why they're happy. Mrs. Duncan at first thought the robber could be someone that frequented the store, but no one was in the area at the time of the theft, except for Slater. She said, "This was terrifying and ... Slater was around at that time. Yeah, it says nobody was around at the theft. But anyway, I'm going to have to end this video here. If you liked it, then subscribe, comment, like, all those things. Tell everyone about it. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.